for the first one. The second one, you will going to create a project, but not by Eclipse. We will create by the Gradle client console. So after installing Gradle, you can create project by this document. Follow this document, you will be able to create project, but you need to name it shopping cart. After creating the project, you try to build the project. If it is successful, continue to the next step. Add MySQL connector J as dependency for project. So this time we don't use Maven, we use Gradle, but we add the same library. Because Gradle and Maven, they can integrate together. So you can use Maven repository as Gradle repository. But maybe some of you don't know what is a repository. So I go back to I will show you the connection. There is one. I send you the document on the dependency management on the grid. So if we talk about dependency, we talk about the repository. Repository is where the library are stored. Just like you upload your file into cloud, and then you can search that file and download back. So the place that store your file as a library, we call it the repository. The fact. You can also add your library into repository. So today you are going to do a lot of research before you can create, before you can do this TP. So after you add the dependency, I forgot to mention that you need to go to the page that I sent by link recently. To be able to add the dependency like connector J. And then you need to rebuild to make sure that it's working. And then go to the next step, prepare the database. So you are going to create a database in MySQL server. And then create table name products. ID product with the field with column ID, name, price, and created date. Product ID should be automatically incremented. It's auto incremented. After created table and database table, you go to the next step. The last one, you are going to create an application Java that able to list all product in the database, add new product, update existing product by ID, delete product by name or ID. So you can choose one, name or ID. Don't do both, just one. Search product by name. Search product by name. That's all for the work for this TP. So you have any question?
Teacher, when we write query to create database, we write it from the Java code or predefine it inside the database?
Sorry again, please.
When we write to create database, we write it from Java to create a database.
We don't need to create a database from Java code. We create database in MySQL server directly. If you want to create by Java code, it's also possible. Yeah. But it's not required. Other question? So now you can start do the work. And if you have any problem, you can ask me. So maybe you can work in a group or discuss in here. Okay. It should be a group of 2 persons, I think. It's better than 1 people, okay? So you can work as a group of 2 people. So you can choose by your own, or you can do it alone. It's not a problem. But you can start now. If you have some problem, you can ask. Okay. There are some of you already done or not yet? Done some of the point, like some of your friend is already done installing Gradle, set up project. So if you already install Gradle, you can create one folder like a shopping cart, represent your project, and then go into your folder shopping cart, and then you can open the or CMD command line. So to make sure that your Gradle is working, you type Gradle version. So you can see my Gradle is version 6.8, but currently the latest one is 7.4. So it's a little old, but ZVM is too high. You can't build with this version. So you can downgrade your ZVM into version 11 or 8. According to this version, it may be work with only version 8. So you need to do something to downgrade your CVM first. So you need to check your Java home if you have a Java home. So like echo is to display the Java home. You use now my Java home is JDK 17, so it's too high for this version of Gradle. So sometimes the version is very complicated. So I don't use the latest one, so it's maybe harder to build. So I'm going to downgrade my Java to version 8. It's here. So if you can find your folder, you can see your Java. Because I have several folder of several versions of Java. I have 1.8, I have 17, I have 15, 11, so there's a lot more. But install other different place. So now I use version 8 instead. So I set it to 1. So to make sure it works, you need to display it again. When you need to downgrade your Java, you do the following, just like what I did. This is downgrade Java. So now I think it is done for installation. So I need to test again whether it is working. So is it work now? It is 1.8. So now I start to initialize Gradle. So Gradle init. We will initialize our project. So we need to choose which project type we are going to build. In this example, we are going to build application, desktop application. So we use number 2. It is application. It's application. So which language you are going to use is there's C++, Groovy, Java, Kotlin. So we use Java. So it's number 3. So split functionality across sub-project. Currently, we don't make many projects. So we can say no. So select the build script for development dependency management. So I will choose Groovy. You can also choose Kotlin. It's okay. So now I choose. For the test framework, normally I use JUnit 4. You can use also test NT, but I never use for Spark or JUnit Jupyter. I only use these two, and the other two I never test. So if you want to try, you can try by yourself. I don't know. I can help a lot. So now the project name is automatically select your folder name. It is shopping cart, so no need to change anything. And the full package you can use as a question shopping.cart. It's okay, I think. No need to change anything. So it's done. So you can listing or you can go to the shopping cart here. So now it has a lot of folder. It has application folder. It has build.gradle for application. And it's this where you are going to add dependency. So in brief, I don't go through the theory, but what is in this TP, you will need to go to the document, read the document first. For me, I already know about that, so I don't need to read the document. So I go through directly. So now I'm going to build a project. So Gradle build. So now it's build successful. So next I need to run the project. So we use Gradle run. So this time you can see the result of a running application. And also it display a hello world. So you can go to the project. So I will open a VS Code. Maybe you can use other IDE like Eclipse. Eclipse also have the creation of Gradle project. Okay. So now I already open it in the VS Code. So let me see some folder structure. So in here, you can see all fine, right? It's not too small. Okay, here we have the package source package shopping.cart. So it is app.java that has one function main here. the main method that display new app.greeting. So greeting is hello world. So it will display hello world. I want to close. So as you can see, the folder structure for application is already managed for you. So you don't need to. Okay, it is because we try to use Java 17 with Gradle 6.8. It's not going to work. We need to upgrade to yes. I think use Java 8 is better. 1.8 because I don't want to change my version now because I'm using it for other project also. So for you, you can change the version, but for me, for now, I can't change it. I need to complete some other project before I can update. So now it's here. So I think it's done here. Okay. So you can build and you can run and you can change something here. You see Gradle is fun and very easy to use, right? Like that. So we need to rebuild it again. So we call Gradle build and then run. So as you can see, the result is Gradle is fun. It's very easy to use. So what if you want to generate the jar file? In fact, that is already generate jar file for you in build, I believe, distribution. Here, the zip and tar is already built for you. Everything. So now we are going to add some library. So if you want to add library into Gradle, there are two build file. This one is the one that you are going to use to add library. So you already have this implementation and test implementation dependency here. Dependency represent the library you are going to add into your project. So we are going to add library MySQL connector. So you can search on internet. But if I have one library that's already in here, I believe I already added library called I forgot it. I believe it's called dependency. Yes, dependency here, but it's our dependency. I forgot it. Some library already in here. And dependency maybe not working because it's not my one. So I need to go to the here. So I find the Java MySQL connector. So you need to add some keyword like Maven repository, MVN repo. Yeah. So there's a lot of version, and you need to see it is if it is possible to add. So just about to. So maybe I need to maybe the last one. I don't know whether it's working, but let's try. We go to Gradle and then copy. So implement group measure name like blah blah blah. It's also another way to add something like this. And you also can add just simple like with the implementation 8.0.20. Possible this one is longer and this one is shorter. So after you save it, it will ask to learn the synchronize class path configuration, but I think I don't need that. I just use build. So it's not working because they cannot find the MySQL connector J in J center. So that mean you need to add the repository before that. So go to this build. I believe there's somewhere here. Yes, we have a J center, but it doesn't have in here. So I need to find whether it is possible. It is my one repository. Yes, J center. So it doesn't have in J center. So I need to go to add some. I need to add the repository process. Okay, those sort here, but it does not have. So maybe I need to downgrade. Maybe it's only on central. So I need to add Maven central first. Yeah. TP1. So you need to go to the, let's see here. You need to add repository. So Maven Central, yes, you going to add Maven Central. Again, that's why I want you to add the MySQL connector and then build to make sure that it's working. Again, it's not working. It cannot find the MySQL connector. So I need to find other way. So I'm going to try Google maybe. Let's see. Is there a sign? Which method somewhere? So
Teacher, you need to copy the MySQL connector to the same
maybe it's
project.
just like this.
project.
Yes. I need to copy this maybe. This one. Maybe a single code. Yes. URL, yes. It's still not work. Eh, maybe because I think because my Java version is not meet the requirement. We say cannot find.
So, teacher,
Yes.
you probably need to copy the MySQL connector folder to the project folder so that they can find the connector folder.
I don't want copy. I want them to download automatically. I think it cannot find the location of the file. It's central already, but it cannot find the file here. So I maybe downgrade to version smaller version, maybe 18. So I'm going to downgrade to a smaller one. So around 18 here. Still not fine. Happening. This one I find it actually. I already add, but can't find the. If I download, it's okay, but I don't want to download. I just want them. I just want the build tool to download for us. But it should be fine here. Yes. SL connector check. It's not working. SL connector. Going to replace. Okay. Okay, now it works. I put something wrong. It's not working. Now I'm going to try the latest version. It's 28. So now it's working also. So then maybe I wrote something wrong in this line before. So now it's working. So I'm going to roll back to see what's wrong. Now I'm going to compare it. Yes, that's wrong here. It's club, not hyphen. So it's wrong. This one is correct. So maybe I don't need to add all this. So I'm going to try to comment all of that. And build again. Yes, it's all okay. So I can remove all this. Now I just keep J center. I was wrong in this point, so now you don't have to have problem. Should be okay now. So when you already add the Java connector, it is done for this part. You need to go to SQL, like my SQL server, and then you need to create one database and a table called product, and then add some field like ID, name, price, and creating that. So I think you already have some, right? You have some, right? Everyone, you have some.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. My exam not working. It's not working. So can you do it now? If I guide you through this point, can you do it at home? So my exam is not working now. It's maybe died. And it's the same as the one I have taught you in the semester one. So I think the connection to my SL is the same. The difference is only the build tool only. So the other thing is okay. You can add class here. You can call it product management. So in here it's gone. It's not working. So you can manage your product in here, and you try to do the connection. And optimize later. Connection like this, and you can use the product management. You can use try catch, something like that. Here, get connection, and it's based on your I may be confused CDBC first or and the name of your database, like DB maybe product DB, and on your database name, then user equal to any user. Like me, I use root without password, so and password for because I usually forgot the password, so I remove the password. But in security, in fact, it's not recommended for that. So now I'm going to add surrounded by try catch. So I connect it to product DB and then root. Oh, it's not working, so I need to turn it off. Close window and div. Yes. In one. Oh, I see. Close window. There's too many, so I start it here. And I also start the maybe I can like using the command line. It's enough. It's we don't have my SQL. How can I connect to my SQL? So I cannot start the control panel. It's very hard. So can do nothing. Oh no, I cannot see that. I try to open the ZAM control panel, but it's not working. So I believe maybe you can do it yourself. So I see. It's on another screen, but I don't do external screen. But why it's become this? I see. It's hard to see. So I think you can do it yourself, right? Is it possible? Now you should try it yourself, okay? Because my PC is not working for a control panel. I see now I can. The problem because I use two screen, but now I don't use two screen, but it still remember the location where I close. So now it's okay. Maybe it cannot start because yeah. So I'm using the port 80, so I need to change the port. I'm going to change it to 82. We can start. Then I can start and then I can manage. It's not working. Super. Yes, it's working. So I need to create a new database called product DB. And QTF is still service one. And then you need to create a table called up with ID name, price, created. Yes. So it's it's double, and it is that I think we can use a timestamp. around 100 actually. There is auto increment and also a primary key. Now, created. There is the default is current timestamp, and the price by default is 0 price, and the name is required and ID is okay. So now we can go. So we have a table called product with ID, name, price, and created. So now you are going to use Java to manage the data inside this table. Insert, update, delete, listing, search. Okay. So it should be fine now. You should be able to do it, right? Okay. Successful build. Okay, so next is to create application. It is the last point. Listing all product, add new product, update, delete, and search in the database using this project. Okay. So now I can help you through this. So after that, you need to finish it by yourself. So if you have any problem, you can ask me. Like connection and downloading the library. You don't need to download library by yourself. There's also documentation on the connection here. If I put something wrong, it may be not possible to connect. So I will try to connect for the last. So in here, I will try to connect. So I just do the product. Now I we saw the error. So now it's build finished. So it's supposed to run. So it's working. So connection is successful. There's no error. So next is your work to do. Okay, like add, create product, a lot more. You need to create the class product to be able to manage the product. So I think I should stop here. If I do more, you will see all the answer. Okay. So I stop here, and if you have any question, can ask by this channel. So now, you have any question now? Do you have any question? Check attendance a little bit. Do you have problem like installing Gradle, set up project with Gradle, build project with Gradle, adding dependency to Gradle? You have problem or not? No problem. Cóបញ្ហាអី
No problem, teacher. But not
Hmm?
yet that connect database just.
Okay, the database, okay. But I already give you the connection here. But I think, yes, I will give you this one. If cannot connect, it may be because of a different configuration like a username, password.
No, teacher. It's not error yet because I'm just install the dependency and test the build
Okay.
run.
You can see a screen.
Teacher, I mean that it's not error, but I'm just working on connecting to database.
Yeah. What? You can see a screen or not? You have problem or not? មានបញ្ហាអីហ៎អីក៏ខ្ញុំនិយាយអង់គ្លេសអន់ពេកអញ្ចឹងស្ដាប់អត់បានអីចឹងណា មានបញ្ហាអីហ្នឹង
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Nhưng error database.
Okay, so you can show the screen.
Because before I use Eclipse, so I just install in my actual with Eclipse, but now I use with Visual Code. I didn't know how connect my actual.
It's the same.
Set.
The same, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You have started exam or not yet? Do you have started exam?
Yes, I use WAM.
Yes. But do you have the error message?
Yes.
Can you pass error message here?
Yes. When I will to add library again, is will show message. I will screenshot anything.
One more thing, you can use a clip. It's not required to use VS Code. I just like VS Code because it start very fast. It does not mean that you need to use VS Code. យើងចង់ប្រើអីក៏បានដែរមិនចាំតែ VS Code ទេព្រោះយើងត្រឡប់ប្រើ Eclipse គឺប្រើ Eclipse ទៅ Okay. You can use Eclipse or VS Code is okay. It's no problem.
Yes.
I cannot show both at the same time. I cannot show both Eclipse and VS Code. It take too much time. So if you don't have any other question, I can finish it here. We're going to end the meeting here today. So try to do the TP. If you meet the problem, you can ask in the group. So some of you having problem from the basic of Java, I believe, because when I do some correction, I see a few, maybe around 6 people, 6 students that have a problem with Java code, and also the problem of copy paste. So we are going to solve the problem together. And I don't know why I already took the attendance, but still have some guy they said they have attended the class, but no name in the report of Microsoft team. I don't know why also. I still investigate there. Okay, so I'm going to finish now. Okay, bye-bye.